no go gree. She go say, I be lady yo. If you call a woman, African woman, no go gree.
Where do I start? Evan's just really gone through my LinkedIn page for you. So effectively just read you my CV. But maybe I can take it from a slightly different angle. Since the event is called Recipes for Success, I may just want to start with what I think, for me personally, are 4 attributes, characteristics, which are really, really fundamental for success. And they're quite personal. It may not be the same for you. They're definitely threads which I think a lot of people can identify with, but not necessarily. So what do I think are my recipes for success? And then I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, and you can decide if I'm actually successful or not, because I mean, that's open for debate. So my recipes, I think, are as follows, my ingredients. Faith. I have a really strong faith in God. And it's not a kind of thing where it's abstract, it's out there. For me, God is really real. And everything that I've been able to achieve over the course of the getting on to 50 years of my life, I really attribute to Him in a really personal and concrete way. My second is hard work. I don't think there's any shying away from that. I have a friend who talks about heavy lifting, about my banker actually, and she says, you know, lots of times in Africa, and she works for the African Import-Export Bank based in Cairo. They're our major financiers for the Hilton Hotel. And so she meets people across the continent. They have offices north, east, west, and south. And she does actually mention the fact that very often in the continent, there seems to be an aversion for heavy lifting, for hard work. That for me is a critical ingredient in terms of a recipe for success. The third is not very comfortable. It's sacrifice. In my life, certainly, my experience, and I know it's different for everyone, but my experience has certainly been success has been interwoven with having to make sacrifices. And finally, perseverance. You can work hard and then give up before you reach your goal. To actually get to where you want to go, it really takes perseverance. So those for me are the 4 critical ingredients. And now I'll just maybe tell you a little bit about myself in a more sort of looser context than the LinkedIn page. So you know my name, you know where I'm from. I went to school in Sierra Leone. I went to St. Joseph's Convent. How many St. Joseph girls are there in this room? Yay! Esther Fidelis, go! Yes, we really need to do better, girls. You know, we're kind of lagging behind everyone else. I hear it's our 150-year anniversary. Yes. We need to do something about it. Sure. Okay, so I went to St. Joseph's, and I was in the same class, in fact, as 2 ladies there, Oya and Kule, who were sitting in those seats, and at the same time as America, who was a couple of years behind us. And that feels like a lifetime ago in some ways, but in other ways it feels like it was just yesterday. Finished St. Joseph's and went to Furby College, where I read economics. And from there, I went to the LSE, to the London, well actually before LSE, in those days, and I believe it still exists, there was an organization, or there is an organization called ISEC, Students of Economics and Management, and we revived it. My year group revived it in Furby College. And I was elected onto the ISEC executive. So when I finished my degree, I was invited to work with ISEC International in Brussels. So that was a fantastic experience, a lot of travel, a lot of seeing different environments, students operating and businesses operating, because a big part of what ISEC was about was linking students to business. So I think my involvement with business really started very early on. I want to jump back a little bit to school. And I want to tie it into that hard work thing. So in school, And I know, some of you have kids, some of you, might already be going through this sort of thing. You know how you have the kids at school who just are always making trouble and getting in trouble at back of class, and the really cool kids. So like, I really wanted to be one of those kids, and I really wasn't. But one of the things which I think really started in school days was a determination to do the best that I could. So I always wanted to be first. I meet my teachers now, and they say to me, I remember you when you would come and meet me for that 1 mark, because that 1 mark meant you beat Gita Matani. I was like, yes. But, competitiveness it has its pros and its cons. Mainly, if you manage it well, it's a pro, right? So that's something that I've encouraged in my own children.